ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणि निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। हर नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव शंभो शंकर। बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। विवेकचूडामणि मंगलाचरण श्लोक। Let us chant together. सर्ववेदान्त सिद्धान्ता गोचरं तमगोचरम् गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। Yesterday we were discussing what are the dharmas of pranas and what are the activities of senses, jnanendriyas and karmendriyas. The dharmas and kriyas of senses and pranas, they are only belonging to them, but they are not in the self. So Atma Swarupa is completely detached from all kinds of activities of the pranas and senses. Yesterday we have seen at the end of the session about the Antahkarana. This Antahkarana is reflected consciousness. This Antahkarana is giving sensation, means sensation means able to perceive. Because of the Antahkarana only, our sense organs able to perceive sense objects, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. So yesterday we have seen this Antahkarana itself doesn't have any kind of illuminating power in it. From Atma Swarupa, it is getting that illuminating power. Antahkarana also is made up of 5 elements, subtle elements. Because of the proximity, earlier we have seen when we have discussed about the upadhis, Upasamipe sthitva sviyam rupam anyasmin or anyatra adadati iti upadhi. So this antahkarana also is conditioning upadhi, but not the self. Yesterday we have seen with example how that sunlight, when reflecting in the water, we can see as the sun is there, but in fact that is only reflection of the sun. In the same way, our Antahkarana also is getting that illuminating power from the Atma Swarupa. Senses are there, inner equipment, antahkarana is there, Atma Swarupa is there. But who is experiencing all these things? Who is feeling? Who is having the thought of doership and enjoyership? So answer is given in the next sloka. Sloka number 104. One of you can repeat after me. Ahankarasya vigneyaha. Ahankarasya vigneyaha. Karta bhoktabhimanyeyam. Karta bhoktabhimanyeyam. Sattvadiguna-yogena. Sattvadiguna-yogena. Chavastatrayamashnuti. Chavastatrayamashnuti. Ahankaraha saha vigneyaha. Ahankaraha means ego. Here ego means it's not what we will be using the word arrogance in our transactions. Here ego means the sense of individuality. Jiva bhava. Saha. Saha means here it. This ego. Vigneyaha. Vigneyaha means no. Karta bhokta abhimani ayam. Karta means doer. Bhokta means one who is enjoying, that enjoyer. So the doer, bhokta, the experiencer. Karta means the doer. Bhokta means the experiencer, the enjoyer. Abhimani. Abhimani means identifying. Ayam. Ayam means this. Sattvadi guna yogena. Yoga means union. Yogena, in union. In union of what? Sattva adi guna. Sattva etc. means sattva, raja, tamo gunas. So in union with sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna, who is uniting with these things? Ego. What is happening? Cham and avastatrayam ashnute. Ashnute means enjoys, assumes also one meaning. What? Avastatrayam. Trayam means three. Avastha means that which comes and goes. Avastatrayam means Jagrada Avastha, Swapna Avastha and Shushupti Avastha. Earlier also we have discussed all these things. Waking state, dream state and deep sleep state. So the ahankara is identifying with the body and in union with sattva, raja, tamo gunas, it is the doer and enjoyer. It is enjoying or it is assuming these three states, Jagrat, Swapna, Shushupti, Avasthas. So this is called Jiva Bhava. When the reflection of consciousness is identifying with conditionings, upadhis, then the sense of ego is arising. This is the problematic thing. Atma is untouched. It is ever blissful in nature. Suddha, Sattva, Suddha Swarupa, Suddha, Ananda Swarupa, beyond three gunas. But when the identification is happening, because of this ego only, we are experiencing continuously sukha and dukkha. I am doing. How this thought is arising? I am doing. Doing is anything. I am seeing, I am listening, I am speaking. I am gaining this one, I am experiencing this joy. This sense of doership and the sense of enjoyership, these things are happening because of this ego. When we understand this ego is causing the Sukha and Dukkha, we can get rid of from the sense of Jiva Bhava. You can listen carefully here. All of us, we are Ananda Swarupa in nature. This is our Sahaja Sthiti. Then why all of us all the time we are seeking happiness from external things? Why we are working? Why we are searching for the happiness outside? Because when we are ignorant of our true self, when we are identifying with upadhis, senses, pranas, antakarana, etc. In simple terms, body, mind, intellect, BMI. So because of this identification, then when we are writing, so what we say? We don't say, my hand is writing. We don't say like that. I am writing. But in fact, Atma is not doing anything, but we are superimposing the thought of doership upon the self. That's why we are having continuously the thought of I am doing, I am experiencing. If I will do this one, I will get this one. So here clearly said, ahamkaraha saha vigneyaha karta bhokta abhimani ayam. Identifying with body, this is becoming karta and bhokta. As long as the sense of doership will be there, I am doing, then so long the sense of enjoyership also will be there. I have done this one, I want to enjoy the result. So because of this one, what is happening? Completely we are forgetting our true nature and we are so much identifying with the conditionings, and this ego, that Jiva Bhava, is strengthening more and more when we are involving in the actions. That too, selfish actions. We want to get more and more happiness from the outside world. So if we want to get happiness, what we are thinking, that happiness is there in external things. When I do something, I will get that one. So the doership, that enjoyership also maintained continuously. When we are acting in this world, definitely we will get the result of actions. Punya or Papa Phala. So because of these things, continuously we are undergoing Sukha and Dukkha. We are experiencing continuously Sukha and Dukkha. And how long it will continue? As long as we will be having the thought of ego, I am so and so person, I am individual being. So as long as this ego will be there, so long this cycle of experiencing Sukha and Dukkha, in other terms, the cycle of birth and death will continue. When we identify with our own self, when we disconnect with this ego bhava, jiva bhava, then what will happen? We realize that Atma Swarupa is itself Ananda Swarupa. No need to seek for happiness in external things. When we don't identify with body, mind, intellect, then what will happen? We will come to know the source of happiness is me alone. This I is not like I ego. This I is Atma Swarupa. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. I am not so and so person. But what we will be doing all the time, we will be all the time trying to strengthen our ego more and more, and we will think when we get something in this world, for example, that money, or when we will be having so many relatives, and when we get name and fame. So all these things we feel they will give more and more happiness and security. So in this process, what we are doing, we are making our what you call ego is bigger and bigger. Instead of dissolving ego and identifying with all pervading self, only we are trying to make this ego more and more bigger. But it will never become all pervading Atma Swarupa. That person maybe is a millionaire, billionaire, the richest person in this world. That person, whatever he wants, he can achieve in this world. But whatever may be happening in his life, according to his wish, but as long as he will be having that Jiva Bhava, he will not get permanent happiness. Clear this thought. Next one. Why people are experiencing Sukha and Dukkha? Many people will be asking that question. Why sometimes happiness, we are experiencing happiness, and most of the time sorrow, misery only. Why? What is the reason? How it is happening? So answer is given in the next sloka. Sloka number 105. Vishayanamanukule Sukhi Dukkhi Viparyaye Sukhi Dukkhi Viparyaye Sukham Dukkham cha tadharmaha Sukham Dukkham cha tadharmaha Sadanandasya natmanaha Sadanandasya natmanaha. Very clearly it is said, Vishayanam anukulye sukhi viparyaye dukkhi. Vishayanam, the sense objects, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. Whatever maybe we are experiencing, we are perceiving, all those things are nothing but these 5 things only. So Vishayanam anukulya. Anukulya means conducive, according to our wish, according to our liking. So Vishayanam anukulyam, when all sense objects, they are conducive to us, then what is happening? Sukhi, that person will be so happy. Everything is conducive. Whatever he wants to get, he is getting. Maybe objects are even including persons also, maintaining relationships, all these things also. So all those things are circumstances, situations, they are conducive to that person. Whatever he likes to get, if he is receiving that one, then he is sukhi. And conducive to his vasanas also, his desires. And dukkhi viparyaye. Viparyaya means when it is contrary. Contrary means when all these objects are non-conducive to him, then what is happening? Dukkhi, miserable, sorrowful. So I don't know why all these things are happening in my life only. From childhood onwards, it's like this only. Nothing is conducive at all. I never experienced happiness. A few people go on. And few people will be, it's like that. They will be having all comforts and they will be having all kinds of secured kind of what you call atmosphere. But still, in the midst of all such kind of things, that person will be miserable. Most of the people like that don't. They will not realize what they are having, but person all the time will be thinking what he doesn't have, he wants to get it. Then he will be happy. My life will be fulfilled when I will achieve that one. When that person will achieve that one, again that person will feel, no, I got this one, but still, one more is there. If I achieve that one, then I'll be really happy. What really happy? Again, after that one also, he will say, no, yes, I will be happy when I'll get another thing, that one. Person will be saying this is final. After getting this one, I'll be happy, but it will never happen. And one more thing we have to understand, Sukha and Dukkha, when we are experiencing, here it is said, Vishayanam Anukule Sukhi and Vishayanam Ananukule means Viparyaye Dukhi. Most of the time in our lives, objects and people, they will not be conditional according to our wish. Everything will not happen in this world. We have to understand this basic thing also. And person all the time expecting this thing should be proper, that thing should be proper, these people should behave like this, then only I will be happy. No. Everyone will be having their own vasanas, everyone will be having their own likes and dislikes in their lives, and the people, they have come to this world to exhaust their vasanas, to fulfill their desires. So all the time when we will be go on expecting everything should be conducive, then I'll be all the time happy. Sometimes sukha, sometimes dukkha. That's why people all the time will be asking, how are you? How are you? Even though we'll be saying this, I'm fine, I'm fine, but is having so many things. If body is cooperating, mind is not cooperating. If mind is cooperating, body is not. If mind and body is all these things are so okay, fine, then external objects and people and surroundings. So I don't know. It's nowadays whatever I want to do, but nothing is happening proper in way. People will be saying. Sukham Dukkham cha Taddharmaha. But here it is said, Sukha and Dukkha, these are not the dharmas of Atma Swarupa. These are the dharmas of happiness and misery, sorrow. Taddharmaha. That means that. That means what? Till now what we have discussed, that ego, Jiva Bhava. Taddharmaha. Dharma of that ego. Dharma of that jiva. Jiva is undergoing sukha and dukkha, but not Atma Swarupa at all. Why? Because Sadanandasya na Atmanaha. Sadanandasya Atmanaha na sukha dukkha. Sada Ananda. Sada always Ananda, blissful. Atmanaha of the self. That self ever blissful. Na means not. Not means here what? Sukha, dukkha are not the dharmas of ever blissful Atma Swarupa. In that word only we can understand Sada Ananda means there is no sorrow at all. So we should not think that when everything will be conducive, then Atma will be happy, and if those things are non-conducive, then Atma will become miserable. No. Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Ananda Swarupa is Atma Swarupa. So when we listen these kind of things, we will understand all the time we are thinking, I'm happy, I'm unhappy, I'm happy, I'm unhappy. I want to be all the time happy. So I have to do something. Please don't do anything, then you will be more happy. What, Amma, what you said? Yeah, what it is said is true. We will be thinking, if we do something, we will be happy. Please understand, don't do anything, you'll be more happy. Why? Because when Jiva Bhava is there, then only you will do something. When you don't do anything, it doesn't mean we will be lazy like that. Not like that. All duties should be fulfilled. Responsibilities should be fulfilled. Even though we will be engaged all the time in activities, but when we realize we are that Atma Swarupa, that which is ever blissful, then what will happen? We never depend upon for happiness in any other external thing. This is very important point. Why we should know all these things? What is the use of listening all these things? Why should we study Vedanta? Because please understand, when we are in ignorant state, we continuously go on seeking for happiness in external things only. We go on adjusting whole life from childhood onwards till the end of the life, go on adjusting. So everything will be conducive, then I'll be happy. When I will get first rank, I'll be happy in student life. When I'll get jobs, I'll be so happy. When I will get married, I'll be so happy. When I'll get children, I'll be happy. When I'll get my own house, then I'll be happy. When I'll get my own car, I'll be so happy. I want to buy this land. I want to have this, so many things. And when I will be having so many friends and relatives, I will be so happy. And at the end of the life also, a person will be seeking for all these kind of things for the happiness. And what will happen? The entire life it's like what you call expecting happiness, but not really experiencing the happiness. Remember these two words. The jiva expecting happiness, but not experiencing the happiness. When we are having this expectation for the happiness, we are missing that happiness already, which is our true nature. See, we are neglecting that happiness already, which is there, and go on seeking outside. So here it is said, Sadanandasya Atmanaha na. This sukha, dukkha, all these things are not at all dharmas of Atmaswarupa. And one more point, please understand, what we are experiencing happiness, sukha, because of the sense objects, when they are conducive, this happiness is not the happiness that which is the nature of self. That bliss is different. This happiness, what we are experiencing, is not real happiness. This is depending upon so many things. Temporary in nature, time bound, and a lot of effort is required to experience this happiness. But Atma Ananda is all the time, it is available. Its nature itself Ananda, and not at all depending upon anything. It's not time bounded. Please understand. So when we listen this, when we receive this Vedantic knowledge, what will happen? Slowly we will develop the thought in our mind, no, I should not expect all the time happiness in external things. I have to find out the source of happiness within me. That's why when we see the ignorant people, worldly kind of people, when they are engaged in so many kinds of selfish activities, and sadhaka, even though he will be doing activity but selfless, even though he will be engaged in activities, but he will be all the time peaceful and cheerful. This is the difference. And one more thing, unnecessarily that sadhaka will not involve in worldly kind of things. And he knows, when I will get this one, what I am going to experience, that happiness is very temporary in nature. Within fraction of seconds, one more thought will come that will be disturbed completely. Yes, when we are feeling so happy, next moment the negative thought will arise, it's gone. When people are our friends and our well-wishers around us, we feel so happy. And when we see those who are hating us, or when we are having hatredness towards others, immediately that happiness disappears. It is disappearing. So all these things are sukha and dukkha, continuously what we are experiencing. These are the dharmas of ego, but not the dharmas of Atmaswarupa. Then what is the dharma of Atmaswarupa? Sadananda Swarupa. Next sloka. Atmarthatvena hi preya. Atmarthatvena hi preya. Vishayo na swatah priyaha. विषयो न स्वतः प्रियः स्वत एव हि सर्वेषाम् स्वत एव हि सर्वेषाम् आत्मा प्रियतमो यतः आत्मा प्रियतमो यतः ततात्मा सदानन्दः ततात्मा सदानन्दः नास्य दुःखं कदाचन नास्य दुःखं कदाचन. If someone is asking how you can say there is no permanent happiness in sense objects and how you can say Atma Swarupa is Ananda Swarupa, what is the proof? How you can prove it? So answer is given in this sloka 106. Atma Swarupa is Ananda Swarupa and this Ananda is not depending upon any other external thing. Tomorrow we will discuss in detail. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. ఇంద్రియాలు, ప్రాణాలు, అంతఃకరణం ఇవన్నీ కూడా వాటి వాటి యొక్క ధర్మాన్ని కలిగి ఉన్నాయి. అవన్నీ కూడా ఆత్మయందు లేవు అని చెప్తున్నారు. ఆత్మస్వరూపం అన్నటువంటిది అసంగ స్వరూపము. ఎప్పుడైతే ఆత్మస్వరూపము అంతఃకరణము యందు ప్రతిబింబిస్తుందో అప్పుడు నేను అన్నటువంటి జీవభావము ఏర్పడుతోంది. అది కూడా ఏ విధంగా అంటే శరీర మనోబుద్ధులతో ఉపాధులతో తాదాత్మ్యత చెందటం వల్ల ఈ జీవభావం అన్నటువంటిది కలుగుతుంది. నేను నేను నాది అహంకార మమకారాలు కలుగుతున్నాయి. ఈ అహంకారం అన్నటువంటిది అహంకార స విజ్ఞేయ కర్త భోక్త. కర్త చేసేటువంటి వారు, భోక్త అనుభవించేటువంటి వారు. వీటన్నింటినీ ఎవరు అనుభవిస్తున్నారు? సుఖదుఖాలని అనుభవించేది ఎవరు? ఈ ప్రపంచంలో ఉన్నటువంటి వస్తువులన్నింటినీ అనుభవించేది ఎవరు అంటే ఆత్మస్వరూపము కాదు. ఎవరు చేస్తున్నారు పనులన్నీ అంటే ఆత్మస్వరూపము కాదు. ఈ జీవభావం అన్నటువంటిది ఈ కర్తృత్వ భోక్తృత్వ భావాల్ని కలిగి ఉంది అని చెప్తున్నారు. సత్వాది గుణయోగేన చ అవస్థాత్రయం అశ్నుతే. సత్వ రజ తమో గుణాలతో కూడి ఉండి జాగ్రత్త స్వప్న సుషుప్తి అవస్థలని అనుభవించడము జరుగుతుంది. తమోగుణం అధికంగా ఉన్నప్పుడు సుషుప్తి అవస్థ, రజోగుణం ఉన్నప్పుడు స్వప్న అవస్థ ప్రాధాన్యంగా అన్నమాట. మూడు ఉంటాయి కానీ ప్రాధాన్యంగా సత్వగుణం ప్రాధాన్యంగా ఉన్నప్పుడు జాగ్రత్త అవస్థలో ఉండటం జరుగుతుంది. ఈ అహంకారం అన్నటువంటిది మన యొక్క సుఖ దుఃఖాలకి కారణం అవుతుంది. మనందరం ఏం చేస్తున్నామంటే ఈ అహంకార భావాన్ని ఇంకా ఇంకా పెంచుకుంటూ ఉన్నాము. అది ఎంత ఎక్కువగా అయితే మనం అంత ఎక్కువగా ఆనందంగా ఉంటాం అనుకుంటాం, కానీ అది ఎంత జీవభావం ఎక్కువ అయిపోతే అంత దుఃఖం కూడా మనకి కలుగుతుంది అన్నమాట. వస్తువులు పెరగడం వల్ల, వ్యక్తులు పెరగడం వల్ల, సంపదలు పెరగడం వల్ల అత్యధిక ఆనందం అన్నటువంటిది కలగదు. మరి ఆనందానికి మూలం ఏంటి అంటే ఆత్మ స్వరూపం అని చెప్తున్నారు. మనిషికి ఎందుకు సుఖ దుఃఖాలు కలుగుతున్నాయి? ఎప్పుడు సుఖం కలుగుతుంది, ఎప్పుడు దుఃఖం కలుగుతుంది అంటే విషయానాం ఆనుకూల్యే సుఖి. ఎప్పుడైతే విషయాలన్నీ తనకి అనుకూలంగా ఉంటాయో, తను అనుకున్నటువంటి విధంగా జరుగుతాయో, వస్తువులు తనకి అనుకూలంగా కావాలనుకున్నటువంటి పొందినప్పుడు, వ్యక్తులందరూ తనకి కావలసిన విధంగా ప్రవర్తిస్తూ ఉన్నప్పుడు, తన వాసనలకి తన కోరికలకి అన్ని కూడా అనుకూలంగా ఉన్నప్పుడు మాత్రమే సుఖం అన్నటువంటిది కలుగుతుంది. సుఖి ఆనందిస్తూ ఉన్నాడు, సుఖిస్తూ ఉన్నాడు. విపర్యయే దుఃఖి. అవన్నీ అననుకూలంగా ఉన్నట్లయితే, అనుకూలంగా లేకపోయినట్లయితే దుఃఖాన్ని అనుభవిస్తుంది. నేను అలా అనుకున్నాను కానీ ఇలా జరిగిపోయింది, ఏం చేయాలి? చాలా సార్లు అంటూ ఉంటారు కదా. సో ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే చాలా సార్లు మన జీవితాల్లో అన్ని అనుకూలంగా ఉండవు, ఎక్కువ సార్లు ప్రతికూలంగానే ఉంటూ ఉంటాయి. అప్పుడప్పుడు సుఖం కలుగుతుంది, ఎక్కువ సార్లు దుఃఖము కలుగుతూనే ఉంటుంది. అయితే ఈ సుఖము దుఃఖము అన్నటువంటివి ఎవరికి సంబంధించినవి అంటే, సుఖం దుఃఖం చ తద్ధర్మ, సుఖ దుఃఖాలు అన్నటువంటివి ఈ అహంకారానికి సంబంధించినటువంటివి, జీవభావానికి సంబంధించినటువంటివే కానీ సదానందస్య న ఆత్మనః, నిరంతర ఆనంద నిత్య ఆనంద స్వరూపమైనటువంటి ఆత్మతత్వానికి సంబంధించినటువంటివి కాదు అని చెప్తున్నారు. నేను సుఖంగా ఉన్నాను, నేను దుఃఖంగా ఉన్నాను అని చెప్పేది ఎవరు అంటే జీవుడు, అంతేకాని ఆత్మస్వరూపము కాదు. ఇంకొక విషయం ఏంటంటే, మనము అనుభవించేటువంటి విషయాల వల్ల కలిగేటువంటి సుఖం అన్నటువంటిది ఆత్మానందము కంటే వేరైనటువంటిది. ఆత్మానందం అన్నటువంటిది శాశ్వతమైంది, కాల పరిమితి లేనటువంటిది, దేని మీద ఆధారపడకుండా ఉండేటువంటిది. మనం అనుభవించేటువంటి ఆనందము తాత్కాలికమైంది, కాల పరిమితికి లోబడి ఉండేటువంటిది, అనేక పరిస్థితులు అనుకూలంగా ఉన్నప్పుడు మాత్రమే అనుభవించడము జరుగుతుంది. అనేక వాటి మీద ఆధారపడి ఉన్నటువంటి సుఖం అన్నమాట. పైగా ఈ సుఖం అన్నటువంటిది పూర్తిగా సంతృప్తిని ఇవ్వడము జరగదు. సో ఇక్కడ వచ్చేసి ఈ సుఖ దుఃఖాలు అన్నటువంటివి జీవుడికి కలుగుతూ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఎప్పుడూ కూడా సుఖం సుఖం పొందాలి అనేసి బాహ్యమైనటువంటి విషయాల్లో ఆ సుఖాన్ని పొందడం కోసం నిరంతరము ప్రయత్నం చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. చిన్నప్పటి నుండి మరణించే వరకు తన జీవితంలో అన్ని సర్దుబాట్లు చేసుకోవడానికే సరిపోతుంది. ఎప్పుడు తనకి ఆనందం పొందడానికి అన్ని అనుకూలంగా ఉండేలాగా చేసుకోవడానికి ప్రయత్నాలు జరుగుతూనే ఉంటాయి. ఒకదాని తర్వాత ఒకటి, ఇది పొందితే ఆనందంగా ఉంటాను, ఇది పొందితే ఆనందంగా ఉంటాను అనేసి ఎప్పుడు ఎదురు చూడడంలోనే సరిపోతుంది, కానీ వాస్తవమైనటువంటి ఆనందాన్ని అనుభవించలేకపోతుంది. కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ ఏం చెప్తున్నారంటే, మనం ఇవన్నీ వినడం వల్ల కలిగేటువంటి ప్రయోజనం ఏంటి అంటే, సుఖ దుఃఖాలు అన్నటువంటివి కేవలము జీవుడికి సంబంధించినవి, అహంకారానికి సంబంధించినవి, ఆత్మస్వరూపానికి సంబంధించినవి కాదు. ఆత్మస్వరూపం నిరంతర ఆనంద నిత్య ఆనంద స్వరూపం కాబట్టి అది నేనై ఉన్నాను అని తెలుసుకున్నప్పుడు మన ఆనందం కోసము వేరే వాటి మీద ఆధారపడము జరగదు. ఆ ఆనంద స్వరూపము ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది, ఎలా ఉంటుంది అని అన్వేషించేవాడే సాధకుడు. ఆనంద స్వరూపాన్ని పొందినప్పుడు సుఖ దుఃఖాలు ఉండవు, జనన మరణ చక్రం అన్నటువంటిది కూడా ఉండదు. ఆత్మ ఆనంద స్వరూపమే అని ఎలా చెప్పగలుగుతారు? విషయాలలో ఆనందం లేదని ఎలా చెప్పగలుగుతారు? ఈ ప్రశ్నలకి సమాధానం తరువాత శ్లోకంలో చెప్పున్నారు. 106వ శ్లోకంలో రేపటి రోజున వివరంగా చెప్పుకుందాం. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. హరి ఓం. శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. హరి ఓం.